Water resources are a really big concern, particularly in western South Dakota. It is our most limited resource.
We're in an arid environment out here, and so we'll probably have about 15 to 17 inches of rain total per year, which is really low. The riparian areas, even though we don't have a ton of creeks and streams, we do have a lot of riparian areas that are maybe ephemeral throughout western South Dakota. And these are really essential to livestock production, so they're essential watering points a lot of times for cattle. They're essential for a lot of our wildlife species. One of the problems that we've had over the past century is that we've seen a lot of degradation within these riparian systems, and a lot of that's in the form of erosion. So you have these riparian areas and that vegetation that's associated with them that traditionally would act like a sponge on the landscape. And so when you get these big, heavy, convective thunderstorms that happen in the summertime, a lot of that rain dumps, it runs through these riparian systems. If you have good, healthy, functioning riparian plant community and systems, it's really going to soak all that water up on the landscape and hold on to it, and then release it slowly as it goes throughout the rest of the season.
Whether you're an upland bird hunter, a big game hunter, a rancher, someone living in town, everything that we do is tied to these areas. They store and hold water in our floodplains. They produce critical forage for livestock and wildlife. And we couldn't be out here on these grasslands without the important water and forage resources that they provide.
So we're going through some riparian restoration training today, sort of an advanced level training, mostly focused on how to repair degraded riparian systems. And today in particular, we're working on beaver dam analog installation. Beaver dam analog is essentially what it sounds like, mimicking a beaver dam, designed to hold water back in places where beaver don't currently exist. And it just kind of helps facilitate, first of all, beaver expansion, recolonization of areas where they've been in the past. Also, by raising the floodplain and increasing the flow of water across the landscape.
Spreading water out, growing more grass, and holding that water in that soil profile instead of having it go down the stream as fast as possible.
Just sort of learning the technical aspects of how to do this work from the experts themselves, whether it's the folks from Anabranch or public agency partners and private partners like TNC. I've just been like a sponge. I'm like a beaver dam, absorbing all of the knowledge that they have to share.
It's been a lot of fun the last couple of years. Somehow the riparian work has really blown up and expanded to a lot of different partners.
It's become really apparent that we're running out of water more often than not, and once I started reading about some of these techniques and how low-tech they are and hands-on they are, it really felt like a great opportunity for us to get involved, be actually involved in the construction of the structures, but also put some effort into the long-term viability and resiliency of our streams in the Black Hills.
We've been using some small pines that are kind of encroaching into some of these meadows. And so it's okay to take a few of those. And so you'll pack the sod, and then you pack the pine down, and then you keep building that up. And we've actually kind of changed the way that we've built these in the sense that we've done this a lot now. Like these guys down here, they're, after you do your foundation, they're putting just untreated fence posts into the water. And that's because, if they rot, it's natural. If they wash away, it's natural. That's totally fine for the ecosystem. And so that just helps stabilize the dam from washing out.
Where we're at our Cottonwood Field Station, and this is actually Cottonwood Creek that runs through the entire station. We have about 3 miles of creek frontage moving through our property. I think there's always been a history of beaver within this. So as we walk along the creek, you see a lot of old beaver sign and old cottonwood trees that have been chewed down maybe 10, 20 years ago or more within this riparian community. And so that's kind of the hope, is that we can build these beaver dam analogs. Maybe beavers who are much better at building these than we are can potentially come in and carry that torch and help kind of restore that ecosystem out here as well. BDAs essentially serve as a way to slow down that force of that water on the landscape. And so slow it down, spread it out, hold more water on the landscape behind these areas. And then in turn, a lot of that sediment that's moving through that system gets deposited behind these beaver dam analogs, and you start building back up that stream bed to try and reconnect it to the floodplain out there, with the hopes that eventually that gets revegetated with riparian plant communities.
Here at Cottonwood, we really wanted to install the beaver dam analogs, the BDAs, and see how the system here responds to them. And it was pretty incredible. We installed the structures, summer of 22. It was about June, July. And within 4-6 weeks, this one place where we put a BDA, beavers had come into the system and completely recolonized. We had active beaver, like they were chewing down our cottonwood trees. They were taking over the BDA that we had just installed weeks before. It was really rewarding. Those moments are kind of why I love my job and why I do what I do. We have had not only beavers recolonize this Cottonwood Creek here at the station, but also we've had water upstream on the station where we haven't had water staying in the system for the last 8-10 years.
Our Cottonwood Research Station has a lot of existing tree growth already, cottonwoods and green ash and other riparian species. Out here on the smaller streams, such as Blair's Ranch, we're dealing with systems that currently don't support wood and will require a lot of work before they are capable, if they are ever capable, of supporting wood again. We're still in the early stages of discovering how these structures work on prairie streams. It is very promising. It may occasionally confound us and give us results that we don't expect, but almost every case that we've seen, the trajectory has been upward in some direction, even if it's not necessarily in the direction that we expected.
In order to thrive, we have to have healthy outdoor spaces, clean water, clean air, and land that we all care about, and it's the thing that kind of connects us as people. And what we want to have is all of that to be a place that everybody loves and cares about, but also takes care of over the long term, both because it's the right thing to do and because it's an important site of community building.
We really need to, again, think of the whole system. Animals don't see boundaries, or ungulates like antelope or deer cross landscapes. They're just jumping on through, and that's in some ways kind of what we need to start doing, and what we have started doing with this riparian work is not really seeing boundaries. It's just an entire landscape that we're all working to protect and conserve.